Hello, my friends. Today, I want to talk to those who feel the weight of an impossible calling, those who wonder why the journey ahead seems so uncertain. If you've ever questioned why the path you're on is so lonely or why the challenges you face feel insurmountable, let me tell you, this is no coincidence. You've been chosen to pioneer something extraordinary, and pioneers are never called to walk the easy road. You see, God doesn't call the most qualified or the most confident. He calls those willing to step into the unknown, those brave enough to trust in His plan even when the destination feels out of reach. And when He calls, it's not just about you. It's about breaking barriers, opening doors, and forging a trail for others to follow. This isn't just your story, it's a movement, a ripple effect that will inspire generations to come. Pioneers can't wait for perfect conditions. The world needs the path you're carving right now. The resistance you face, the doubts that try to hold you back, they're all part of the process of building something greater than yourself. It's time to rise, to take that first step and to trust that you were made for this. This is your moment to answer the call and walk boldly into your purpose. Chosen for the path, God's call to the unexpected. Have you ever felt unworthy of a calling so great it leaves you questioning why it fell on your shoulders? That's often how God begins His work, choosing the ones who never saw themselves as worthy pioneers. Life rarely hands us a script we expect to follow. One day, we're walking the familiar path of ordinary routines, and the next, an opportunity, a challenge, or a vision plants itself in our hearts. It's not always glamorous or clear, but it stirs something deep inside, a calling that feels so much bigger than ourselves. And that's the beauty of it. God doesn't call the equipped, He equips the called. Often, He picks those who think, "Why me?" The ones who see their flaws more vividly than their strengths. You might feel like you lack the skills, the courage, or even the faith to step forward. But that's where God shines the brightest. His light fills the gaps where we fall short, illuminating strengths we never knew we had. Imagine a craftsman choosing the least polished stone for a masterpiece. He doesn't pick it because it's perfect, but because he sees its potential. You are that stone, called to something far greater than what you see in yourself. The cracks, imperfections, and uncertainties. They're the very things that make you perfect for the journey ahead. But being chosen doesn't mean the path is easy. It's humbling, sometimes overwhelming, to realize that God sees what we cannot. Yet His call is never a mistake. It's a divine invitation to step into a role no one else can fill. You've been called not despite your doubts and weaknesses, but because of them. They're part of the story God wants to write through you. When the road ahead feels daunting, remember this: pioneers aren't made in comfort zones. They're forged in the unknown, shaped by faith and determination. Every great journey starts with an unlikely traveler willing to say yes to a purpose they don't fully understand. That's what makes the pioneer's path so powerful. It's not about being ready, it's about being willing. So here you are, chosen for a path that seems impossible, unworthy even. But don't you see? That's exactly what makes you perfect for it. God doesn't make mistakes. You've been called because you are the one meant to walk this road. Take the first step, knowing that He is walking with you, and trust that He sees the greatness in you, even when you don't. The courage to begin, overcoming fear as a pioneer. Every great journey begins with a single step, but that first step is often the hardest. Fear has a way of planting itself in your path, whispering all the reasons you shouldn't move forward. It's no secret. Fear is a powerful force. It knows exactly where to strike, targeting our deepest insecurities and doubts. What if I fail? What if I'm not strong enough? What if this isn't even the right path? These questions are loud, persistent, and sometimes crippling, but fear isn't a stop sign. It's a challenge. Think of a pioneer venturing into uncharted territory. They don't have a map, they don't have a guide. What they do have is the conviction that the path is worth forging. The same applies to you. The courage to begin isn't about banishing fear completely. It's about moving forward despite it. Fear feeds on inaction. The longer you stand still, the stronger it grows, wrapping itself around your resolve like chains. But courage grows when you take that first step, no matter how small. It's not a feeling, it's a choice, a decision to trust that the path ahead, no matter how uncertain, will reveal itself as you walk it. You might feel unsteady, unsure, and even vulnerable. That's normal. The beginning is never perfect, and it's not supposed to be. What matters is the act of starting, of daring to confront the unknown with faith that something greater awaits on the other side. And let's be honest, fear doesn't disappear just because you've started. It shows up again and again, testing your resolve. But with every step forward, you build a resistance to its power. Each act of courage, no matter how small, weakens fear's grip and strengthens your confidence. Remember, God has already equipped you with everything you need to take that first step. He's not asking you to leap, He's asking you to trust. Trust in His plan, trust in His timing, and most importantly, trust in the gifts He's placed within you. So take that first step, even if your knees are shaking. Take it knowing that fear only holds power when you let it. Take it knowing that courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the decision to walk through it. You were called to this path for a reason, and the only way to see where it leads is to begin. The trailblazers of history didn't wait for their fear to fade. They walked forward and let courage grow stronger with every step. Resilient steps, building strength amid resistance. Resistance is the proving ground for pioneers. It's where your strength is forged, not in moments of ease, but in the battles that test your will to keep going. The moment you decide to move forward, resistance comes alive. It can take many forms: external challenges, criticism, unexpected setbacks, or even your own doubts resurfacing louder than before. It feels heavy, like the weight of the world is pressing against you. But here's the thing about resistance. It's not there to stop you, it's there to shape you. Imagine the process of refining gold. It's heated, melted, and shaped under intense conditions to bring out its purity and strength. The same is true for you. Resistance isn't a punishment, it's a tool. Every pushback you face is an opportunity to grow stronger, to refine your character, and to deepen your resolve. But building resilience doesn't mean you're unaffected by the struggle. It's okay to feel tired. It's okay to cry. It's okay to doubt. Resilience isn't about ignoring the pain. It's about refusing to let it stop you. It's about looking at the mountain in front of you and saying, I will keep climbing, no matter how steep or rugged the path. And know this, you are not climbing alone. God doesn't place resistance in your life without also providing the strength to overcome it. He walks beside you, carrying the weight you can't bear, and whispering, keep going. You're stronger than you think. With every step you take, He strengthens you, adding layers of courage and endurance to your spirit. There will be moments when you feel like giving up, when the road ahead seems endless. That's when resilience becomes your greatest ally. It's not a loud, flashy trait, it's quiet, steady, and unrelenting. It's the voice inside you that says, just one more step, and then another, and another. Each step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. Each challenge you face and overcome adds to your strength. The resistance you encounter isn't just something to endure. It's the very thing that prepares you for the victories to come. So when resistance meets you head-on, don't shrink back. Lean into it, knowing that every ounce of effort is building a foundation of strength within you. Remember that resilience isn't about never falling. It's about always rising. You were chosen for this path, and the strength you're building now is preparing you for the incredible journey ahead. Keep moving forward. The resistance is shaping you into the pioneer you were meant to be, leading the way, shouldering the responsibility of pioneership. Pioneers don't walk their paths alone. They carry others with them. The choices you make and the roads you carve aren't just for you. They create a way forward for those who will follow. Stepping into the role of a pioneer comes with a unique weight, the responsibility of leadership. Even if you don't feel like a leader, your actions speak louder than any title ever could. Every step you take, every obstacle you overcome, becomes an example for others. They see your courage in the face of fear, your resilience in the midst of trials, and it inspires them to rise to their own challenges. But leadership isn't just about being out front. It's about bearing the burdens of others as well. Sometimes being a pioneer means walking a harder road, so those who come after you don't have to. It means enduring resistance, doubt, and sacrifice, so the trail you blaze is one they can walk with greater ease. That's no small task, and it can feel overwhelming. You might think, who am I to lead? But the truth is, leadership isn't about perfection, it's about authenticity. People don't need a flawless pioneer, they need a real one. They need someone willing to admit the struggle, but remain steadfast anyway. They need someone who shows them what it means to keep going, even when the weight feels unbearable. And remember, you're not leading on your own strength. God has entrusted you with this role because He knows you are capable. When the weight feels too heavy, He is there to lighten the load. He strengthens your spirit and equips you with wisdom, even in moments when you feel you have none. Leadership, after all, is not about being the strongest. It's about trusting the one who is. The responsibility of being a pioneer will test you, but it will also transform you. It will teach you the power of selflessness, the beauty of perseverance, and the value of humility. As you lead, you'll find that the burdens you carry are balanced by the joy of seeing others walk the path you've paved. Their victories will be a testament to your courage. So embrace the responsibility, even when it feels heavy. You're not just forging a path, you're shaping a legacy. Every step you take, every decision you make is planting seeds for others to grow. The weight of leadership may feel great, but the reward of seeing others thrive because of your journey is far greater. Lead with faith and know that your work is not in vain. Faithful triumph, trusting God's justice in the struggle. Struggle is inevitable on the pioneer's path, but victory isn't always about immediate results. True triumph lies in trusting that divine justice is at work, even when it feels like the battle is endless. The pioneer's journey is rarely smooth. There are moments when the struggle feels unfair, when the resistance feels insurmountable, and when the enemies of progress seem to win. It's in these moments that doubt creeps in. You may wonder if your efforts matter or if God sees your pain. But let me assure you, God's justice never fails, even if it doesn't arrive on our timeline. Trusting divine justice means believing that every ounce of effort, every tear shed, and every obstacle faced is not wasted. It's about understanding that God is working behind the scenes, orchestrating a victory far greater than what you can see in the moment. The struggles you face are not random, they are purposeful. Each one is shaping you and the legacy you are building. Sometimes the battle feels like it's being fought alone. But remember this, you are never alone. God walks with you, carrying you through the moments you think you can't endure. He sees the injustice, the pain, and the resistance, and He is preparing a resolution that is both just and transformative. It may not come when you expect it, but it will come. Pioneers are called to have a kind of faith that looks beyond the immediate and trusts in the ultimate. It's not easy to stand firm when the world feels against you, but faith isn't about ease. It's about conviction. It's about trusting that even when the enemies seem to be winning, God's justice will prevail. Victory doesn't always look the way we imagine. Sometimes it's quieter, a peace that fills your heart when you know you've done what's right, even when no one else sees it. Other times, it's in the lives you've impacted, the people you've inspired, and the doors you've opened for others. But always, victory is in knowing that God is faithful to His promises. So when the struggle feels too great and the enemy's too strong, stand firm in faith. Trust that God's justice is at work even when you can't see it. The victory you're fighting for is already yours. It just hasn't been revealed yet. Keep moving forward, knowing that the God who called you is the same God who will ensure your triumph. Inspiring the future. The legacy of a pioneer's path. Your journey as a pioneer is more than a personal victory. It's a torch passed on to others, lighting the way for those who will follow. The legacy of a pioneer isn't measured by the obstacles they faced, but by the lives they changed. Every step you've taken, every mountain you've climbed, and every battle you've fought has left a mark on the path you've carved. That mark, whether you realize it or not, becomes a guide for those searching for their way forward. Think of the road you've walked. At the start, it was untamed and uncertain, filled with challenges that made you question your strength. Yet, by persevering, you've turned that rugged terrain into a path others can now tread with confidence. This is the gift of a pioneer, not only to overcome, but to inspire. Your resilience, courage, and faith become a source of strength for those watching. They see your scars not as signs of defeat, but as proof that victory is possible. They see the road you've paved and realize they too can walk it. Every choice you've made to keep going has ripple effects that reach further than you can imagine. But legacy isn't just about what others see. It's about the lives transformed by the example you've set. Your journey may have been marked by struggle, but it's also been marked by purpose. And that purpose is now carried forward by the people you've inspired. They will take your story, your strength, and your faith, and they will build on it. Even more, your legacy is rooted in something eternal. God's plan for your life doesn't end with you. It flows through you to others. He has used your journey to create not just a path, but a movement, a testament to His faithfulness and the power of perseverance. Your life has become a living example of what it means to trust in Him, no matter how difficult the road. You may never know the full impact of your journey, but take heart in this. The seeds you've planted will grow into something far greater than you can imagine. The trail you've blazed will continue to guide and inspire long after your footsteps fade. So as you look back on the path you've walked, take pride not only in the mountains you've climbed, but in the doors you've opened for others. Your legacy is not just about what you've achieved. It's about the lives you've touched and the hope you've ignited. You've shown the world what it means to be a pioneer, and that legacy will live on in the hearts of those who follow. As we bring this message to a close, I want you to remember one thing. You are not walking this journey by accident. You've been called to forge a new path, to rise above challenges, and to leave a legacy of courage and faith. Every step you take is paving the way for something greater, not just for yourself, but for everyone who follows. Don't let fear or resistance hold you back. You are stronger than you think, and God is with you every step of the way. If this message spoke to your heart today, I invite you to join this community of trailblazers. Subscribe to the channel and hit the like button so you never miss an opportunity to fuel your journey with inspiration and encouragement. Together, we can continue to grow, to push through challenges, and to celebrate the victories that come from walking the pioneer's path. Thank you for being here and for taking the time to invest in your calling. You're not alone, and you're not forgotten. Until next time, stay strong, stay resilient, and keep moving forward. You are unstoppable, and the best is yet to come. Take care, and God bless.